Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 176 of Nintendo Power Block. I want to wish everybody a happy new year, and if you're just joining us, this is Boss Rush Games Nintendo Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is that Retro Code, Eddie
Happy
V.
new Nintendo year, everybody! Yay!
Ed, I didn't think we were going to come back this week, but we are, because we have a very special episode lined up today.
Yes.
Look, we wanted to get this episode out before the next Nintendo Direct happened. That way, we don't get screwed. Let's be honest. We don't want to get screwed on having wrong confirmations, wrong rumors, all that kind of stuff. So, this is being recorded on January 3rd of 2020. Man, that's such a weird year to say. 2020 is here. I'm just gonna go to Mega Man 20XX. Sounds better. That way we're covered for like another, I don't know, 99 years.
Yeah.
80. No, that's wrong. That's even more wrong. 79 years. Wow. Math is hard. Math is hard, everybody. Anyways, if you're just joining us, welcome. This is Nintendo Power Block. Each week we talk about the world of Nintendo and what we've been playing and the news and rumors and all that kind of stuff. We are a weekly podcast on BossRushGames.com. You can check us out there or on your podcast service of choice, including iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever it's called today. I don't know. Changes every day. Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and, of course, our YouTube page at youtube.com/BossRushGames. You can also check out our main podcast, Boss Rush Podcast, hosted by Edward Varno. We're also joined by Jesse and Ray on that show. And you know what, Ed? It's going to be an exciting year for Boss Rush Podcast as well. We've got a bunch of guests lined up to kick off the year. I'm very excited. Some bigger names, some smaller names, some names you may not have heard of, but should keep an eye on the internet. So I'm very excited. We have 6 weeks in a row for guests. So
yes,
it's going to be quite interesting. We're also launching 2 new shows this year, including 1v1, which is our interview podcast, and of course, Standard Definition, our retro and nostalgia podcast. We're also continuing the Retro Game Show, Pod and Play, and Hit 'em Hard, which are our YouTube Let's Play shows. And then, of course, random Let's Plays and videos that will go up from time to time as well. But
yes.
Yeah, it's a big year for us. I'm very, very excited. We're going to launch our Patreon later on this year. Hopefully, people will support us there as well. More details on that at a later date. And of course, you can find all of our content on BossRushGames.com and subscribe to all of our shows at BossRushGames.com/subscribe. Follow us on social media. It's all there. So, Ed, how was your holiday?
My holiday was good. I did get a little bit sick, so if you guys are hearing this and I sound a little bit stuffy, that's why. But
this is not had the a really good to sound sick, Ed. This is gonna be a long one, folks.
It unexpectedly happened. But yeah, I've been getting some Switch games. Been playing a lot of playing some Xbox and PlayStation, but played a lot of Switch, like crazy, like jumping from one game to another. Because our backlog challenge has started, and so I've been making moves to get that ready. So just really been enjoying it. Looking forward to a lot of games that's coming on the list that we'll be talking about. Is particularly one game definitely coming in the next 2 weeks, and I cannot wait for it. Hopefully they have a physical version of it, so I could get it and go right there. But everything else, I've been good. Been playing some things. Get a new Astral Opinion up ready and ready. So I've been really good. And my holiday was really, really great.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been prepping some things. If you go on my Twitter or my Instagram, you can see that I have finally managed to hang a green screen that's worth using. Of course, You can't see it behind me now because it's It's Velcro. It's got some Velcro, so you won't be. I can hang it up and take it down as I need it. But also, Ed, you audio listeners, just listen to Ed's reaction. Video listeners will be able to see what I'm about to show Ed. I went to my parents' house over the holidays and I grabbed some classic gaming stuff, if you will. So I didn't grab certain things because I have the certain games on other consoles already, so I can record some stuff. But
yes,
got my GameCube here.
With the Game Boy attachment at the bottom.
Yes, and I found the disc. Remember when I told you I couldn't? Yeah, we had that discussion already. But
yes, oh, I'm so happy. I really cannot wait to see some Game Boy games. Yes,
brought my Dreamcast home.
Of course, a classic system.
Can you believe that this box right here, this little white square box here, is 21 years old this year.
Wow.
And then, of course, for you old school Nintendo Power Block fans, brought my Wii U home. So
yes.
I also I also have a bunch of controllers. I have some Wii remotes and some classic controllers and regular controllers. I have a whole bunch of crap in here. So
it's so weird that the systems that people called a failure, a lot of people still want to play a lot of games, and anyone who's buying retro stuff like that, they'd be like, which one should I get? Everybody would say, get a Dreamcast or get a GameCube, and stuff like that.
Those are, I still think, I call it the pre-HD era. I still think that the GameCube and the Dreamcast are probably two of the top, if not the best kind of classic consoles. I don't know if I would really call them retro consoles at this point. And I know I think like where I cut off retro stuff. For some reason, like the N64 PlayStation era is like the cutoff for classic or for retro stuff. I still think of like, yeah, everything that has a HDMI cable is like, current, whatever. That's kind of how I perceive it. But like, I still think of the GameCube as like a recent console, like.
I kind of like how Jeremy Perry said, anything that's 10 years past falls into the realm of retro.
But that would mean the Wii is a retro console.
I know.
Isn't that nuts, though?
It's weird. I think a lot of, like, I would give, like, Dreamcast, I would call retro because it's 20 years, for that hardware. GameCube is probably reaching about 15 or something like that, or a little bit earlier. Wii U is not retro. It's still a modern console because you can still do some modern stuff on it. It uses the HD TVs as of now, so it's still like a modern console. I think once 4K like really kicks in, it becomes more common, then Wii U will become retro.
Isn't that insane though? That you're gonna like, I know we're like in the 4K kind of super powerful console with Series X coming this year and PlayStation 5. And like, rumors of a Switch Pro, which we'll talk about later in this episode. But like, we're going to get deep into that mega HD era where like, look, I didn't think like, when we've been playing like God of War and Gears 5 and Horizon this year, like, I think those are amazing looking games, right? Those are some of the best games visually you can play right now, right?
Yes.
I didn't think that the next consoles were going to be that big of a graphical jump. I thought it was going to be a lot of like things under the hood, like mathematical systems and like different types of hard drives that'll prevent loading and that kind of thing. I thought that was going to be the step we were taking, and like ray tracing is a big thing that people are throwing around right now. But like, when you saw that Hellblade trailer running in engine, like that to me is like just as big as a jump from the from like playing something like something real dumb on PS2, like I don't know, something dumb, but like something like man, what's a dumb PS2 game I can't even think of? Like GTA 3 to like Gears of War. The first time you saw Gears of War, like it's like that. That is an insane jump in graphical fidelity. That like
Yes.
And like granted, we haven't seen Hellblade in action. We don't know if the game's really gonna look like that all the time. But like just from like a first glance, like we're in for some super powerful stuff. And like, this is kind of gonna go into our conversation. Like Nintendo, clearly the Switch is not gonna be that, right? Like it's never going to be. But like this is where Nintendo really has to bring their A game in terms of software. And I really think the games we're going to talk about, especially like later on, is going to help Nintendo compete with these consoles.
I think Nintendo has always been bringing that air game, because with Nintendo, it's about the experience.
Right. I mean, Reggie said it best, right? It's about software. You can have the prettiest game in the sharpest quality, whatever, but like if your game doesn't play well, then who's going to want to play it, right?
Yes.
How many pretty games have we seen this generation that just don't play good? They don't play well.
We see it a ton, and like it's going to be weird when it comes to PlayStation and Microsoft, because of course everybody's going to be looking at Nintendo for the software, but we're going to be looking at PlayStation and Xbox Series X for their software also. That you just can't. I was telling you this earlier. You just can't show us in-game CGI cutscenes. We need to see that gameplay, and if that graphical ability and the look of it is going to really match up to what the gameplay is, it is very impressive and it's fun, then I think that's where Nintendo can start getting worried. But if that stuff is not there, Nintendo doesn't have nothing to worry, because they know that we want to bring creativity, we want to bring something fun. It's just something that you're going to lose yourself in.
Yeah.
Something that you'll never forget.
Yeah. And speaking of things we'll never forget, I want to the way this episode is going to go. Usually, if you're new to the show, usually we kind of answer a few listener questions before the show that may or may not have to do with Nintendo, and then we kind of do the housekeeping stuff, which we already did, and then we'll go into what we've been playing, and then we'll do some news and rumor stuff, and then we'll go into the rest of our listener questions in the question block. The way this episode is going to go, and probably how I see the years every year following this year starting, it'll be like that. We're going to do a 2020 year. We're just going to review what's been announced and talk about what we know so far. And then usually what we've been doing is, on the first show of January, we will talk about the games that have been announced. And then the episode after the first Nintendo Direct of the year, we do a recap of, okay, here's what was announced. How does after the first Direct this year, we'll say, okay, how is 2020 shaping up compared to how we talked about it at the beginning of the year? And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna break down what's been announced for 2020, what's been announced for Nintendo in general, and then some pretty favorable rumors that have been going around. These aren't just rumors that are Reddit rumors like, oh, the Kirby mature gritty reboot is coming. No, this is not going to be that. These are confirmed rumors by reputable sources like Eurogamer, other podcasts like Giant Bomb and Easy Allies and Game Informer, those shows. These are rumors that have been talked about for a long time, and we're going to go through that. And then at the end of our breakdown, we're going to go through the major third-party games that have been confirmed, at least for the first half of 2020. So that's going to be the breakdown of this episode. Very exciting stuff, Ed. I'm very excited for 2020. At first, when I was building this episode last week, when I was like, maybe we'll save it, maybe we'll just let this weekend go, and then we will do the show next week and just do it next week. But a lot of people are saying there's going to be a January Direct. There's been a lot of rumors on Twitter and through sources that January is going to have a Direct, which we haven't gotten. We've gotten some, like, the mini Directs that are like 14 minutes long.
Yeah, the Indie World one. Yeah, because see, it was weird that we didn't get one in November, and we didn't get one for December.
And I thought for sure we were going to get one in December because, for the simple fact that the final Smash character has not been announced yet.
Right.
And it's supposed to be out by February.
Right. Because we got the Smash run with Sakurai for Fatal Fury. That was in October, right? October or November?
It was earlier than that. I think it was September. No, I think it was October. It was like the beginning of October.
Because it was
No, September. It was the end of September because they also went through the Luigi's Mansion, right?
Sakurai had his own one.
Oh, you're talking about the Smash.
But the Fatal Fury. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. For Fatal Fury.
But
but we got that indie one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was just like, it was weird.
We got the Indie World Showcase, which was a fantastic little indie showcase. Like, I'm really excited for Axiom Verge too. Like, I just watched that trailer again, and I was just telling Ed before we started recording, like, Axiom Verge is a game that I put a lot of time into, and I didn't finish it because I was so distracted by other games. And
here.
I'm not the biggest indie guy, right? Like, I try to play indies when I can, and like there are a select few that I really enjoy. But I don't know. Like, I just, some of them I just can't get into like others do, and maybe that's just games I prefer, maybe that kind of thing. But the indie showcase did do a lot, and we covered that on a recent episode, so you guys can go back and listen to that. But we're going to talk about right now we're going to talk about the 2020 confirmed games for Nintendo Switch. There are 5 confirmed first-party games so far for this year. All of them coming within the first half of the year. We're going to go by quote-unquote release date, whatever. So, Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE Encore.
Yeah.
Coming on January 17th, 2020. It is that game originally came out on the Wii U. It's a JRPG in the vein of Shin Megami Tensei, and with a little bit of Persona mixed in, but your personas are Fire Emblem characters, pretty much.
Yes.
And there's new characters, new songs, new content. Very much looking forward to this game. I really liked what I played of the one on Wii U, and I think it's a game that deserves a second chance. And I really didn't know if they were going to port it to Switch, just for the simple fact that that second screen was so integral to the experience, because throughout the game you are scrolling through text messages and stuff on your second screen while you're playing on the main screen. And I'm actually quite thrilled that they're porting this game. I wonder if they're going to take out some of the text messaging stuff. I wonder if they're going to streamline some stuff just for a single screen experience, because it was definitely one of the few games that took advantage of the Wii U second screen.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to use the Nintendo app part also for this. I mean, that is an option.
I hope they don't, but I could definitely see them doing that, just because, like, there's not a lot on that Nintendo Online app. It's Splatoon, it's Smash, it's Mario Kart, and that's it, right? And I could totally see, I could actually see 2 of the games we're talking about, including this one, using that app just for something like a second screen style experience.
Right. And since Nintendo hasn't really said much about it or how it's going to perform on Switch yet, I think they're still keeping that under wraps. I think that Direct would give us a full-blown understanding of it.
Hmm.
I literally could say this: a lot of people have been pre-ordered the digital version of this game, so it looks like it. And see, I'm waiting for physical, because I love that box art. That box art looks really good. It looks like it's going to be stronger sales for it,
Hmm.
and that a lot of people is one of the lines that people say I missed it on Wii U, so it's good that I gave it a second chance because I
Hmm.
think Atlas and Nintendo only did like maybe two run prints, and if you didn't get it, you had to get it additionally.
Hmm.
But everybody was just like, I'm getting my eShop card and I'm buying it digitally now. So
Yeah, I did. I mean, I
it
did as
looks
soon
like
as
good
it was
size.
available.
Yeah,
I mean, look, I've made my peace of going digital on Switch. I was physical until I had a kid, and the fact that she puts literally everything in her mouth that she can. These little Switch cartridges scare the crap out of me, so I have kind of moved to the digital realm. But
hmm
Tokyo Mirage Sessions was a must buy for me. I can't wait to play it. I played a lot of the Wii U one. I didn't finish it, of course, because I don't finish games. Apparently, it's just I just can't finish a game. Although I did finish two last month, so.
yes.
But yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to hear the music because the soundtrack is really good. The characters are
Yes.
fun, and it's gonna be. I'm excited for people to experience this game on Switch.
I think it's a good time that Nintendo got January with this game. Because
Yeah.
people could go into February still with this game if they haven't beat it.
Uh huh.
In fact, a lot of people got up to March to get this game and beat it
Hmm.
before the cavalcade of other stuff comes out.
Yeah. Speaking of March, the next game on our list is Animal Crossing: New Horizons. I have never been an Animal Crossing guy,
I have.
but the Switch changes a lot of things. I it's the Switch makes me want to try things I've never tried before, and Animal Crossing is one of those games just like, Pokemon. If I just have it on the system all the time, there's no reason why I can't just check in once or twice a week on this game. You know what I mean? Do some
Yes.
chores. It seems like a game my wife would enjoy, weirdly enough. So I know you're a bigger Animal Crossing guy than I could ever even think about being. So are you
I
excited for this? Like, what are you
I
excited about Animal Crossing for this one?
I'm excited about it because once again it's back on console. First of all, when I started out Animal Crossing, I started out on the GameCube. I didn't really do the 3DS was it. The Wii one was nice. I didn't get to play the Wii U one, but I think I like it because now that since it's on Switch, I could carry it around with me and be able to do more stuff than just wait until I get home to play it. I will still have a bigger screen. Uh, I think because of the online feature, I would be able to interact with more people online to send stuff and visit their towns and see what they create, get some of their fruit and everything, and what outfits they create and buy. I just feel like this one is going to be more expensive because of the online feature, and with Switch having the big install base, I think it's going to sell very well, where people could go in and really just like visit other people's towns and stuff, and hopefully take uh take some cues from like some other games and incorporate it,
Hmm.
like Stardew Valley or something.
Yeah,
Like it'd be cool like that.
I think there's been a lot of similar games come out since New Leaf, right? And
Uh-huh.
I think I think Nintendo would be smart to borrow some of these ideas from something like Stardew, like you said, or even Rune Factory, or
Yes.
some of these other farming games that have come out that people just love, and even something as different as something like Minecraft, like not necessarily the digging and stuff, but like just the resource management style stuff and really apply it to Animal Crossing. I feel like this is Animal Crossing's chance to reach more people just by adding little simple quality of life things like that.
Yes.
So I mean, look, I'm interested because it's Nintendo and it's Animal. Like, I'm always interested to see Animal Crossing. I just hope it does a little bit more than what it's been doing for 15 years at this point. So,
Yep.
All right, Ed. Let's get to these next 3 games are games that I'm truly excited for. About this time last year. Or, well, probably, about this time last year, the studio that develops Bravely Default tweeted out a picture of Bravely Default's main character in a Christmas outfit with 2 Joy-Cons, right?
Yes.
And we thought, okay, I could see a Bravely Default port to Switch at some point, or if you bundle Bravely Default and Bravely Second together and a Switch port for $60, I could see that. No, we're getting Bravely Default 2, which is weird because it's the 3rd game in the series. Bravely Default 2 is the 3rd game in the series. Just, Square doesn't know how to use numbers correctly. See Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
But yeah, we're getting another Bravely Default game. I liked when they showed this trailer. I liked it had the first kind of images they were showing kind of had an Octopath Traveler feel to it. It was kind of not pixelated like that 2D HD thing that they were talking about, but more of like a pop-up book with painted kind of backgrounds and stuff. But then the end shot of the trailer just looked like they took some 3DS assets and made them HD. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but like I was kind of expecting a little bit like a better approach to the art style, especially because Octopath Traveler was so smart and so beautiful, right? Like I was expecting something more, not in that vein, but something unique. And this just feels like the 3DS games. It feels like that weird Final Fantasy game that came out after the Bravely Default games. What was it? The 4 Heroes of Light or something?
Yeah.
And like I know this is going to be a great RPG to play, right? Like it's going to be fun. It's going to have a cool story and fun characters, but like visually, I personally visually was a little let down.
It feels like Square Enix was trying to be like, how can we do something that's on the level of Vanillaware, but more or less artistic, in a sense?
I wish they would have gone the Vanillaware route because, Muramasa and what was the PS2 one that was really beautiful?
Dragon's Crown?
No, the PS2 one. It was, I forget what it's called, but it was.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Odin Sphere.
Odin Sphere, yeah.
Like those games are beautiful, even to this day. Even on those consoles, they stand out, right? And like, man, I don't know. Every time something just isn't, if it's polygonal and doesn't match the quality of what Nintendo is doing on some level, or you know what I mean? Like it just feels disappointing.
It's not so much disappointing, but balance. Like you got this beautiful artwork with the environments and the way that it looks, but then you get to the character models and they don't fit.
Yeah.
Like that balance of like the character models.
You know what it feels like? You know what this feels like? I just figured it out. Remember the Final Fantasy 3 and 4 remakes for DS?
Yes.
This is what that is. This is what that feels like.
Yes.
That unbalanced kind of like just weird approach to the art style.
Yes. But it's a game that I'm definitely going to buy because I love the gameplay. I love how Square first doubted that this game would sell, and it blew off the roof. It did like it pretty much put Square in the black from a lot of games that didn't that were
Well,
successful.
in
Uh,
a time that Square was down, right? Like with the kind of the Final Fantasy 14 online situation,
yeah,
people not really caring about Final Fantasy 13. Dragon Quest wasn't. They tried that MMO Dragon Quest, and this is a time when Square's only kind of positive, I would say positive outlook on games was on Nintendo handhelds, and
yeah,
I would say some PSP as well. Like I think the Final Fantasy Tactics game that came out on PSP was got a lot of love, and the Kingdom Hearts game that came out on PSP got love. But like the handhelds were Square's bread and butter during those times because 13 didn't do well. Dragon Quest wasn't on the mind of people. You know, the MMO Final Fantasy 14 was going through a remake pretty much
yes.
because I know people love that game now, but I don't know how many people forgot that game was just atrocious when it launched the first time.
Yeah.
And they were kind of getting it. They were purchasing studios in the West, and we had Hitman and Tomb Raider and stuff like that, which were doing well, but like people aren't associating Tomb Raider with Square Enix, right? They're just
Yes.
not. So yeah, this was a time when Bravely Default had its chance and had its moment to shine, and it did very well. It was a
It
traditional RPG that people wanted, and it was on a system that everybody had, and it had a cool art style and a cool premise. Like the time clock thing, I know a lot of people kind of think it's cheap now, where like, they had a cheap way of making you replay the game, but like it was a cool game.
a lot of people was there for the gameplay because it felt like an evolution of an RPG. If you want to have battles, you can. If you want to walk through a whole dungeon without having battles after you grind it for like 5 to 6 hours, you could set it up that way
Yeah.
and literally go to the boss.
Yeah, I
And
was about to
people
mention that.
love that.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to like discourage the game by any means. Like I like that first game a lot.
Yes.
I didn't play Bravely Second at all, to be honest with you, but I liked that first game a lot. And if this game captures that same feeling, I think it will do well. But like, it kind of just visually just didn't do it for me. But the game that did do it visually for me from that trailer was No More Heroes 3.
Yes.
That announcement trailer was pretty cool. They set it up to where this little boy had an alien friend, and he went back to space, and he came back as like a super alien hero or whatever. And then it just kind of became this superhero meme. And Travis rolls in on his motorcycle, and he's gonna kill some alien superheroes. So that was cool.
Now, now is Nintendo publishing this or is it Barbados and Grass?
See, I don't know. I think Nintendo is partially funding it, and I think it's going to be a timed exclusive for Switch, right? Like I really think it's going to be a timed exclusive. I know that Travis Strikes Again came to PS4 at some point towards the end of the year, but I think Nintendo is kind of helping fund this project. I think they're going to publish the Switch version of the game, and then it'll come to other platforms at a later date.
Okay.
Similar, I would compare it to Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge for Wii U. I would compare it to that situation where, Razor's Edge did end up coming to other consoles a year later, I think. But, the Wii U got it first. So I would
Okay.
compare it to that situation. But look, No More Heroes is a cool game. I wish they would re-release those first two games on Switch, just because
Yeah.
like we're in an era where people may not have played these games, especially on the Wii, right? And people need caught up on these series, especially if you're making a sequel to like a proper sequel. Travis Strikes
Yeah.
Again, you had some wiggle room, you could get people in, whatever. There's no number attached to it. But when you're attaching numbers to games, like, it's really hard to get people back into series, especially
And
if it
And
skips a generation.
yeah, and Double Heroes 2 was really good.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I think
seriously,
they were
it was
both
really
good.
good.
You know, I
Well, 2
mean,
had a lot of improvements over 1, so
yeah, I know, but yeah, I think No More Heroes 3. I think it's gonna
I
do well.
I think we'll see it in a direct. I think we'll get 1 or 2. I think we'll get digital versions of those games.
Yeah.
And it
The
because
the only thing is like those games were so heavily tied to the motion control stuff, and I don't know if they're gonna go in and like kind of tweak it or tune some of the stuff because that game did kind of rely on the motion controls for Wii, which is why when the PlayStation got the Move controllers, they kind of made an HD version of one and put it on the PS3, and it actually looks really phenomenal in HD, that first game, because it just has that sleek art style, that comic book art style that just looks good when it's in HD.
yeah.
That cell shaded pop looks just awesome.
I think because of the Joy-Cons and the HD Rebel, they would be crazy not to really connect the two there.
Yeah, but I think motion controls are going to turn a lot of people off. Is my thing. But I mean they could still do it. They could put it on buttons. They could do some unique things to make it feel more like Travis Strikes Again almost. I think they could. I think when I was listening to podcasts and people were bringing that up, I'm not a game designer. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's that hard to map a swing of a sword to a button. I think it would be a lot harder to map it to motion than it would be to a button, right? Like from like an outsider's perspective, I feel like that would be a lot harder, but I don't know. Maybe it's not. So.
I think they'll give options. Like you could do motion control, you could play on your Switch, or if you want to use the Pro controller, you could use that. I think they'll give them options.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah. So, No More Heroes 3 coming in 2020. Very excited. The last game that has been confirmed for 2020 release is a game that I am very excited for. I adore this game. I hope that they fix a couple of the issues that I had with it, but Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is coming to Switch. A lot of people remember Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came to Switch in December of 2017. And remember when we were talking about it, that probably what was it announced at E3 that year? And we were talking about, oh man, it's not going to hit December. How are they going to hit December? Especially if they were helping with Zelda. And they hit it, and that was a great game. A game I still want to go back to. That's a game on my list this year to finish. I have my backlog challenge, and I'm like, here are the 5 huge games I'm going to finish this year, right? And then I have a medium-sized game list, and then I have a story-driven smaller games list, right? And the 5 games on my list right now for big sprawling RPGs to finish this year: The Witcher 3, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2, and what was the other one? Oh, I think Borderlands was one of them. I think, but I don't know. We'll see about that one. But I might change it to Tokyo Mirage Sessions because I want to play that more.
Switch it. Let me tell you, switch it.
But Xenoblade Chronicles. The interesting thing about this trailer, right? Like the character models look great. Like they look really good. They look like their Smash counterparts, right? Like Shulk looks great. I think that it looks like a pretty modern Switch game, right? I think it looks just about as good as Xenoblade Chronicles 2 does. But the one thing that they showed is they put Xenoblade Chronicles out before they finished the game, right? They cut some content from that game when they put it out in Japan. And there's a new zone in the trailer that a lot of hardcore Xenoblade Chronicles fans don't recognize, which means that we're going to be getting that cut content in this version.
Yeah. It's definitive, and it is.
Mm-hmm. But the other cool thing about Xenoblade Chronicles is, like, I know a lot of people were disappointed in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. When you got new equipment and you applied it, your character's costumes didn't change. But in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, you got a new piece of gear. You saw it on you in real time. If you got a new shirt, it's on you, right? If you got new boots, bam, on you. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. Come on, Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I know.
Just come along with it. Give me the fullness of it. Yeah.
That's like 90% of the reason why I brought the Wii U home.
It has its problems. Not so much just as the music, but mostly just exploring and trying to find things. But I just love that cover. I still love that Wii U cover.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the just the mech standing there with the characters on the ground, kind of overlooking the.
And the color scheme.
I know. I like the color scheme because it matches the Wii U box.
Yes,
it's like just kind of perfectly. And this is a game that I really want to play on the Wii U this year too. It's I got a lot to do, man. I need about 48 hours in a day to do everything I want to do. But those are the 5 games confirmed so far this year. So far, pretty time-consuming lineup, I would say.
Yes.
In terms of just RPGs and time management stuff. Like, I don't know. I think this is a good start to the year for hardcore Nintendo fans. You know, like I think Tokyo Mirage Sessions and Xenoblade Chronicles are the highlights for me. Definitely on this list for confirmed games. It's I am very surprised that we do not have some sort of Mario game on this list, whether it's a 3D World port or Mario Odyssey 2 or something like that. You know, like I'm so surprised we do not have something. You know, I know January is really for ports. You know, like they've done that. You know, last year was New Super Mario Brothers. The year before was Bayonetta 1 and 2. Like January is the time for their ports.
I think they want to save something really big, and Mario is one of those big games.
Yeah.
So if they was going to do it, they probably would do it maybe around April Direct or E3 Direct, like before they adopt something. Because we may get 3D World, but everybody took before Odyssey 2, and that
I know.
we may get unless them.
It's been 3 years, man. Like to me, like if Zelda doesn't come out this year, I think if Zelda doesn't hit this year, we're getting a Mario game. Like it's one or the other.
Yeah, but there is. See, with Mario, it's weird. Do we get another 2D? Do we get a 3D? Do we get paper?
It's got to be Odyssey 2. We got 2D already, right? Like we got New Super Mario Brothers. No, well, I mean, yeah, even that.
You're talking about game wise.
Yeah, like we got 2 2D Mario games last year. Like we got New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, and then we got Mario Maker, which is the endless 2D Mario game. So I don't think it's going to be a 2D Mario game. I think it's either gonna. Man, I would like a 3D World 2 or a 3D World port, but my gut tells me the next Mario game is going to be a Mario Odyssey game, type game at least, a fully 3D Mario game. So, but
I think we may get that. We may get a Paper Mario somehow.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna save that conversation for our rumored games.
Okay.
Because there are, since I made this list, there are new rumors flying around. And we'll play catch up there in a second. But we're gonna talk about the confirmed games that don't have a release date yet. And I know everybody knows 3 of the 4 games. The one is a little lesser known confirmation, but it is there. Which, you know what? We're going to start with it. Pikmin, the next entry in Pikmin. It was in 2017 in an interview, Miyamoto said that the Pikmin is progressing nicely. And then I think in 2018, in another interview, he says work on the next entry of Pikmin is almost complete. And then in an interview in 2019, Miyamoto says, Pikmin is progressing nicely. Again. So, Pikmin is coming. I think...
I'm scared.
Why?
Of Pikmin. I'm scared because I know I will want it, but I want to know how it looks. Like I want to just cry.
Pikmin 3 is definitely...
jaw-dropping gorgeous.
I would almost argue that Pikmin 3 is the best looking game on Wii U. Like,
well,
I would argue that. Like, I know, you know, you might think Wind Waker HD or, you know, Mario 3D World, but like Pikmin is up there.
Pikmin is just like you literally. Pikmin is the Metroid Prime, where you just put the controller down and just stare at it and be like, "What did y'all do?"
I've never been
this
so
is too good.
I've never been so drawn to fruit in my life. Like when you at the end of each day when you're making the juice, like you collect fruit to make juice so you can survive another day in that game, and like the fruit you collect, you can go into like they have like a 3D model, like you can turn the fruit around and stuff and look at it. Like, dude, I think they just like took pictures of fruit and just put it in the game. Like that's like the strawberries look so good. Like that game looks amazing. It still looks amazing. Also, just side note, the one and only game that deserves Wii Remote over traditional controls.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there.
And that's why I'm just like, I'm not worried about the gameplay or online for a player. I want to see how gorgeous this game is, because I think it's going to be lush. Like the environments, the water, the fruit. Who knows if there might be some wacky stuff in New Pikmin, but I want to be like, what is this? Why is my mouth still on the ground? Because it's probably going to be one of the trailers that we watch over and over again and be like, how did you guys do this? Like, it's going to puzzle me. So I'm scared to see how it looks. Because I know I'm just like, please drop this. Please let this come out right now. If they said you could play a digital trial right now after this Nintendo Direct, I think the servers might get crashed.
Yeah,
I would definitely download it.
I love Pikmin to death. I love that first game. Like, I was kind of disappointed not in the game but in myself, because like when I got it, like I beat it in one sitting. Like that's how long I played that game.
Wow.
It was I had the strategy guide, right? Like I had I forget, I was off like when I got it for, I want to say I got it for Christmas that year, and like I was off, and I was sitting in my room. I was sitting in the chair that I had at the end of my bed, and I got some. I think I had like a case of Mountain Dew next to my bed, and I sat there in front, and like let's see, when it came out, I was probably like a freshman or a sophomore in high school, and like I remember my mom made me lunch and she brought it to me while I was playing, and I beat it like in one sitting, and it was like a 9-10 hour sitting, but I beat it, and it was I just remember that game so fondly, and like I've loved Pikmin ever since.
Yes.
You know, I still think that first game is the best one. I like having just one character to roam and collect and, you know, see what I can do. You know, I didn't really care for the 3 split protagonists. I know it made some interesting puzzles and some interesting gameplay aspects in 3, but I hope they go back to 1 protagonist in this game. So
I think they will.
Yeah. So. But yeah, Pikmin is confirmed. It was confirmed for Wii U. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's not coming to Wii U. It's probably been moved to Switch.
Yes.
So, yeah. The next game on the confirmed games list is Bayonetta 3. There are reports on Nintendo Life that Platinum is, quote, full steam ahead on 2020. They are working hard on Bayonetta and Babylon's Fall, which is the PS4 Square Enix game.
Yes.
So that they're on that, and then they're also working on 2 brand new IP and exploring self-publishing. So that's really interesting to hear. But I'm glad to see that they are full steam ahead on Bayonetta 3. I hope that Bayonetta 3 comes out in 2021, like that January February slot, because I don't know if Bayonetta, as great as Bayonetta is, with the new consoles coming out and Nintendo prepping something big for this fall, I don't know if Bayonetta has the fortitude to stand against Nintendo first party and Xbox and PlayStation 5.
It does. Bayonetta 2 just alone has kind of made that series a well-known name, and
I
to
agree
the point where
with you, but
to the point where nobody don't want to see it come to any other console. I think people are excited to see what Bayonetta 3 is going to be about, because it's going to feel that there's something about Bayonetta that it has, excuse me, some kind of connection to a lot of gamers. It is going to feel like Microsoft and Sony could never do something on this level of bringing this game out, and I think Bayonetta 3 is strong enough to stand on this own with other first-party Nintendo games. Definitely after Astral Chain, or how strong that was, and regardless of, we can talk about sale numbers and all of that stuff. I think a lot of people who love Astral Chain really got just super hyped for Bayonetta 3. So trying to go against with other first Nintendo games, I think it's just going to complement it, and people going to be like, "Oh, I'm getting this and Bayonetta 3, or I'm getting this and Bayonetta 3." I think Bayonetta 3 is strong enough to stand on its own.
Sorry, I'm just trying to look up some Bayonetta sales numbers. All right, yeah. I just want Bayonetta to be put in the best possible position to succeed, because I really adore that series. I like Bayonetta 2 a lot. I liked Bayonetta 1, right? Like, I liked it, but Bayonetta 2 is, I put it up there with DMC and Devil May Cry 5 in terms of stylish action games, like quality and just pure fun. The only knock I have against Bayonetta is I want to be able to customize my controls like I can in Devil May Cry. If I could do that, this series would be a must, like just must buy. I mean, it still is for me, but like, yeah, I just want Bayonetta to be in a position where it can succeed.
I think with Astral Chain, because you were able to customize your controls in there.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, you're able to customize.
See, I haven't played Astral Chain, so I don't know.
You're able to do that. I think they're going to do that for 3.
Okay.
That you could do it.
That'd be a smart addition.
Yeah, I think the reason why they didn't do it for Switch and Wii U, I think because Platinum at that time already had the way they did their combo system. I think they had everything set and connected to those button things. So the button presses and everything, and definitely with people who've been testing it, I think they just like, we got it like this, so we don't want nobody really to change it.
Yeah. No, I hear where you're coming from. I just, I think also, like, Bayonetta 2 came out at a time where, customizable controls weren't really like on people's minds. People just played the games how they wanted to play. Really the only games that were doing that were like first person shooters, and like Halo and Call of Duty have their kind of control kind of things where you can use whatever setup you want. And then Destiny started it, and then the first game I really noticed like a huge deep dive was DMC, the Ninja Theory Devil May Cry game. And that was like, okay, I want every game to do this. So
yes.
So yeah, Bayonetta 3. I hope it succeeds. I want it to succeed, and like, there's no question it's gonna succeed critically. I think Platinum knows what they're doing with Bayonetta. I really do, and judging by Astral Chain and what they are assumingly doing with Babylon's Fall, I think a lot of people have come out of there saying, "Yep, that's a Platinum game." I have no doubt that Bayonetta will succeed critically. I just hope it's put in a position to succeed commercially. So,
yeah.
All right, next on the list is Metroid Prime 4. Retro's making some moves. Retro is making a lot of moves recently. They just hired back Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze's lead designer. They've been hiring outside talent. They've hired back some people who went on to do Halo. Like they are really bringing people in. They are not messing around with Metroid Prime 4, which is good. Like I'm glad. There were some rumors going around that they were outsourcing some asset creation, which some people worried about that, but studios do that all the time. Every studio does that.
This really sounds like Nintendo is putting somebody behind it. Like when you have the art director from Halo, when you have the lead designer for Tropical Freeze, when you have people come back to Retro, like big days, even though we don't really follow their work.
This tells me that people are excited to work on Metroid.
Yes.
Right? Like like you hear people are like go back to studios all the time. Like look at Modern Warfare, right? The most recent one. A lot of people moved from Infinity Ward to Respawn to work on Titanfall and Titanfall 2 and Apex, right? And then they went back to Infinity Ward to work on Modern Warfare. And this is the kind of thing that I'm seeing happen with Metroid, where people leave to work on other projects, but maybe people who were working on Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 didn't really want to work on Donkey Kong, so they moved on and they went. Obviously, you see a lot of Metroid Prime in Halo 4 and 5 specifically. You see all that stuff in other projects that they've gone to work on. But then you see Retro is now back on Metroid, and you see these people coming back, and you see people excited to work on Metroid, which, tells me that, like you said, Nintendo is really putting a lot of effort into finally making Metroid what I think it deserves to be as a series. Metroid always does critically well. Metroid doesn't really sell well. Right, like it sells, but it doesn't sell well. Like it's not a Mario or a Zelda, right? It's definitely a second tier franchise to Nintendo. But this tells me that Metroid Prime 4 is going to be just as good of a shooter as Halo Infinite, as Call of Duty. It's going to be just as great as a Metroid game as Metroid Prime 1. Like. It just really feels like there's also team members from Respawn moving back into Retro. Like they're getting some really top notch talent.
I think because the Prime is more American, did Metroid be more for everybody? Because Metroid doesn't sell well in Japan, but it kind of sells well in other places, and I think Nintendo kind of like took notice of that. We don't know how first-person games do in Japan, so we don't know how Prime is going to do there. But knowing that Prime is a big series here in America, getting those people back to work on this new one, it feels like it's going to be more guaranteed sales and more guaranteed hype that people are going to buy this game without a shadow of a doubt. Like, even if people see the trailer and complain about it, people are still going to go out and buy it. And so Metroid Prime 4, if it does come out this year, I really don't know where it fits just yet. We got to get through half of the year, but it will be welcomed here. Mm-hmm. And it literally has a chance. I think probably for this year, it literally has a chance to be a Game of the Year contender if it comes out this year. If nothing else, Switch is challenging it. in a sense.
Yeah. I really think that I really think Nintendo has gone back and looked at, or maybe just retro in general, like going back and looking at, what made that first game so great, and like, 2 and 3 were good games too, but I really think Metroid Prime is the first game is like what they're aiming to recapture.
Yes.
And I think if they recapture that game on a, like, make the game bigger, but not like, what's the word? Like, not, man, if they can just capture that first game and make it like bigger, but not like, still make it feel like that first game, like smaller in scope. It doesn't have to be this big grand thing, right? If they can do that, I think this game is going to really be what they want it to be, and that has me excited. There is a report from Nintendo Life that some of the environment work will be outsourced, which, look, if they want this game to come out sooner than later, like, a lot of that work's going to have to be outsourced. But again, like I said, a lot of games outsource smaller, like, asset work. So
and knowing Retro, probably when they get those assets back and start working on it, they could probably add more and clean the stuff out. They're very talented artists and programmers.
This asset work isn't going to go. Well, they've already restarted the project because it wasn't up to Nintendo standards, right? So
Yes.
This asset work is going to be under very close eye of Nintendo, because Nintendo wants to get it right. Not just Retro.
Yes.
Nintendo themselves wants to get it right. So, yeah, Metroid Prime 4, really excited for that. I know Joey Ferris out there is really... He's been very vocal on Twitter about Metroid, we'll say. So it's funny to watch him do that. But the last game on this TBD announced confirmed games list is obviously The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. We saw that small tease of a trailer at the last Direct, and was it E3? It was E3, right?
E3, yeah.
And this game is a game that seems like it's being fast-tracked to come out soon. Sooner than later, because I was reading that, we talked a little bit about the Xenoblade team kind of working on environmental work for Breath of the Wild, because they know how to build grand scopes and grand worlds and make them interesting to explore and stuff like that. I was reading up on Monolith Soft. They have 4 studios that work on different aspects of different games. Most of them, they all work on Xenoblade at some point, right? But one studio specializes in environmental work. One specializes in asset creation. One specializes in gameplay mechanics. Like all the studios have a specific duty, I would say, to their game. And 2 of Monolith's 4 studios are currently working. They are in, quote, emergency mode hiring for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Nintendo EPD is hiring and working full steam ahead on Breath of the Wild 2. And there are also team members from other studios working on Breath of the Wild 2,
So,
other Nintendo internal studios. So
I have a question. Do you think that the story alone is way bigger than what we expect it to be? And because of the story being so big, there's a lot of components for them to be getting people, a lot of developers and teams to come in to help make it. Because it feels like this is going to tell a bigger story than the first.
I feel like I wouldn't say bigger. I would say it is a continuation of the story with a better focus on the story. Like, don't get me wrong, Breath of the Wild told a great story, and you had to find it. I think this is going to be more of a more focused story. I really think you're gonna. I think Zelda's gonna be your companion, and you're gonna have to switch between them. I think dual characters is gonna be a first for the series. I think Link and Zelda are both gonna be playable at some point. Zelda's gonna be your companion. She's gonna follow you. You go into shrines.
Uh,
You have to use both characters to solve puzzles. I think it's gonna be that. And man, I don't even know what I want from this game. I just know that I want it, and I think that Zelda is going to play a big part in this game, not just as a character, but as a playable character. So, like I said, I think Breath of the Wild is going to be a trilogy of games, and this is the middle chapter of a trilogy of games.
I wonder if there's going to be a side villain, like, and that's why I asked, like,
I think you know what I think this is going to be. You know that it's going to be like it's going to be a very roundabout way of saying it, but hear me out, okay? It's going to be a walk. Have you ever seen the movie The Mummy with Brendan
yes,
Fraser and how the mummy kills other characters in the movie to regain how he's supposed to look as a human being?
yes,
I kind of feel like there's going to be some sort of henchman style villain to Ganon, and that zombie Ganon that you see in the trailer I'm assuming it's zombie Ganon, is going to use this second in command style character as a puppet to regain his powers, and he comes back and is going to be the main villain of the third game. But this henchman style character is going to be the main villain of this game. It's going to almost be like Skyward Sword with what's his name?
yeah,
You know what I mean? The fancy
yeah,
pants guy.
yeah.
I forget what his name is.
And yeah, it's of course, and that's why I'm just like it. I think because of the story, and then I feel like they want to tell a bigger, grander, like you said, more focused story. Yet still go out there and fight it if you want to. Uh, I think there's just more that Nintendo wants to add, and they need all the help
I
they
do
can
too.
get.
I think they're going to have better dungeon design. I think that is the one thing
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild was missing. I think that I don't think the Divine Beasts are their best dungeons by any means, but the shrines were so good, and the idea of the
Yes.
shrines was so good that it kind of made me not care about the dungeons, right? And I hope they have stronger dungeons this time. I think you're going to see the return of items that were missing, like a hook shot or those types of things. I don't think they're going to be. I think it's going to be set up similar to Breath of the Wild, where you get everything you need at the beginning of the game, and then you can go wherever, right? Like I think it's going to be
Yes.
that again, but I think they're going to have it. I think they're going to try to find a better balance between classic Zelda and open world Zelda. You know what I mean?
Right, because like Link should have the Master Sword now. Like you
Yeah.
should start out with the Master Sword, unless something. Unless I really wonder,
Well,
could they be a new Master Sword that we do not know
you
about?
know, you know what I'm thinking though, right? If you really want to tie it into the old games, right?
Uh,
Like, what if the Master Sword is like you start off the Master Sword, right? But maybe you have to power it back up, you know, because you're going into like the dark world or whatever. But the Master Sword is no longer the best sword in the game, right? It's like
uh,
the white sword from the original game. I like that final sword that you get in the original game. Like I wonder if it's something like that you get that's going to overtake the Master Sword, or something similar. I don't know, man. I think Breath of the Wild 2 could do some really interesting things within the lore of Zelda, and they could
Yeah.
really start pulling from, A Link to the Past, or I think they're going to pull more from that original game. I really think that you're going to find swords, those because man, what they could do though, something interesting is they could pull your save from Breath of the Wild 1 to
Yes.
see what you've done and what you haven't done, kind of like a Mass Effect style situation, and apply it to Breath of the Wild 2. And yeah, you can, if you haven't played Breath of the Wild 1, which I don't know why you haven't if you haven't, but it starts you off, you have a generic sword or a royal sword or whatever, right? And then you just start with a generic set of stuff, and then you upgrade from there. Or it reads your save, and you continue with the stuff that you had from the original game, and maybe you have to go find it, maybe you have to collect it back, maybe there's some sort of oh no, you fell down a hole and lost all your stuff type thing. But
What about do you still have the weapon degradation generation, whatever it was?
I think it's still
that's-
going. I think it's still going to exist. To be honest with you, I think they're going to scale it back a little bit, because I know a lot of people didn't really care for it, including me. Didn't really care for it. I don't like degradable weapons, but
Incredible.
I
I think
do.
do you think blacksmiths would play a role? You think that's gonna bring that in where
You can repair your weapons.
yeah, you can repair your weapons and you can repair to a point where it's finite.
Yeah,
It's infinite.
I think they're gonna add more, you go collect resources, similar to what when you went to upgrade your armor at the ferries, right? You go to a blacksmith with a certain amount of resources, and you can upgrade your weapons that you really like to an unbreakable status. But it would take a while. It takes a lot of grinding to do that, but you can do that. I think will be a new mechanic in the game. And like I said, I think the Master Sword is going to play a role in this, but I think there's going to be a more powerful sword than the Master Sword, and I think it's going to be the White Sword.
There's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of tales that we don't know that leads to a new sword. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But and that's why I kind of feel like the story that they want to tell is bigger than what we're just looking at.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they need all the help right now.
Yeah. I'm telling you, dude, I think that White Sword is going to be the next Master Sword, quote unquote. I think you're going to meet the old man. I think you're going to no, I really think there's going to be a cave, and this old man's going to exist in the cave, and you're going to get the White Sword from him. I really do. I really think that this is going to happen in this game.
We'll see. We shall see.
Look, man, I popped in Zelda the other day just to walk around that world, and it's still a beautiful world. I really want to play this game again, and I know there are other games that I want to be playing instead, but I can't believe almost 3 years later I still think about this game on a weekly basis.
I played it the first day of New Year's,
And
I would get it further, and I feel like there is still stuff that I'm missing that I didn't even know that was in the game.
yeah, and I'm just so in love with this version of Zelda. And it's the Assassin's Creed effect too. I had the same effect with Origins and Odyssey for Assassin's Creed. I still love classic Zelda, right? I still do. I really still love Wind Waker and Twilight Princess in the classic Zelda formula. But I am just in love with this version of Zelda, and if they just make one of these games every 3 or 4 years, it's just this is what I want. This is what I want Zelda to be, and I really think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to deliver on some interesting things. I'm interested in the darker story that looks like they're going to tell. I'm really, like, not to go back on this, but I'm really interested to see how Zelda plays a part in this game. Like, I really think that this is the first time you're going to have a companion, like a real companion in a Zelda game, and I think that you're going to be able to switch between Zelda and Link. I really do.
Maybe she gets the white sword.
Maybe. I also hope that Wolf Link Amiibo still works in this game.
Oh yeah, they have to.
I think it will. Like, why would you be able to use it in the first game, not the second game? But that's just me. Where is my Wolf Link? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Like, I think that Wolf Link, dude, Wolf Link Amiibo saved my butt probably 10 times at least during the course of this game, and that's all I have to say about that. But we're gonna move on, unless you have anything else you want to say about Breath of the Wild 2 besides you're excited.
But yeah, besides being excited, and take your time to tittle, get all the help that you need. Like, do not rush this game. Get it to where it needs to be at.
Yeah, the one thing I can say about this game is that it's run, like, to get it out in 3.5 years. I think it's going to be a lot easier than them moving from Wind Waker to Twilight Princess to Skyward Sword.
Yes.
Only for the simple fact is that it's running on the same engine, it's running on the same piece of hardware, and they already have a lot of the character models and animations done for these characters because it is a direct sequel. That's the only thing I can say is, like, 3.5 years is a long time to work on this.
Hopefully they're getting it smoothed out too, like that it feels smoother to play.
Yeah, I hope they get it to run at like a solid 30. Because,
yes.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, the Wii U version runs way better than the Switch version. I mean, I know it was for Wii U in the beginning, and they ported it to Switch, but, like, the Wii U version runs way better. So
yeah.
All right, we're gonna get into the rumored games, Ed.
Yes.
There's a lot of rumored games. It's quite astonishing, really, to see some of these rumored games, and there's actually another rumored game that popped up on a podcast I was listening to today that I'm going to add to the list. But there's a few projects Retro was rumored to be working on before they got pulled onto Metroid Prime 4. That Star Fox Racing Grand Prix was the game that was supposedly leaked last year, and we never saw it. That is a game that they are rumored to be working on. It's rumored to be finished and shelved until they feel like they can release it. A game I thought that sounded really interesting, to be honest, but that's just me. I know you don't really care for the idea, but I think it sounds cool. As long as it's in that awesome anime art style from the what was it, what was that they showed that in? Was it a trailer?
Star Fox Zero.
Oh, was it Star Fox Zero?
Yeah, the trailer for it.
Yeah. So that I want that game. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I think the only Star Fox we get this generation was from Starlink, unfortunately.
If we do get that Star Fox Racing game, you know I'll be at the store buying it.
Oh, dude, I know. I look. I want a good Star Fox game. Okay, you know how committed I am to Star Fox. Okay, Ed. Okay, I'm gonna give it another shot.
Yeah.
This year, Star Fox Zero. I'm giving it another shot.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it another shot.
Yes.
For you audio listeners, I held up a case of Star Fox Zero for Wii U.
Yes.
Metroid Prime Trilogy HD. Clearly something that's been rumored for a long time. I don't really have anything else to say about it except that I think that's a shoo-in. Honestly, yeah. I really do. The only thing is the motion control stuff again might hinder that third game a little bit if they can figure out how to get modernize the controls and really fit those motion controls onto a gamepad, then, I think it'll be, ready to go. But I really don't have anything else to say about Metroid Prime Trilogy. We've talked it to death. Donkey Kong Country Returns 3 is another project that they've been rumored to be working on. Also, Nintendo Italy tweeted out a picture about, I want to say mid 2018, right after the Tropical Freeze port came out. It was, man, let me see. I think it's been deleted since then, but basically it was Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, and Dixie Kong with 3 bananas. And let me see if I can find that. But while I look for this, what do you think of a Donkey Kong Country 3?
I can see it happening, but I don't think people are in the mood for it just yet. I think people will get it. People will play it. Hopefully, I think someone else has to make it and not Retro.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, who I'd really love to see make that game is Playtonic. The way that Ukulele Impossible Lair plays.
Yes. If they could make it like that, then yes.
That's the team I want to make this game.
If they could make it like Impossible Lair, then yes, I want that.
Yeah. I really, man, dude, I'm telling you, it's that's who I want to make this game. I like those games enough, right? Like I don't love them, but like I would play a third one if it came out. Probably for a little bit.
I would. I mean, I would play it and do my best to beat it. Yeah, but if Playtonic could do it in that manner, yes, then I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to think about it because I was just like, okay, I was trying to think of it graphically, like just looking at it. But then when you said Impossible Lair, I was just like, okay, with more graphic, with more detail, yes, they could, and a little bit more polish, because I think Nintendo will like send some of their employees and they'll be working with Playtonic to get it up, and stuff. But Impossible Lair, yeah, that was sold it.
Yeah. So, and look, Tropical Freeze is really good. Donkey Kong Country Returns was really good on Wii. That was actually another rumored title. Was Donkey Kong Country Returns coming to the Switch in HD at some point? That's later in our rumored ports section, but that was an option. So, and then it was also rumored that they were working on a new IP, something in the realm of a first-person survival horror game, which is kind of what we were discussing, maybe 2 years ago, about Retro's new IP and how we wanted to see them do that. I think they could do something interesting in that space, but clearly that's not happening. But I think a first-person survival horror game would have been interesting, probably in the vein of an Eternal Darkness style thing, like,
yeah,
but first person and really just kind of messing with you. And yeah, I think that would be really interesting. So,
not to sidetrack or anything, but do you think Nintendo got Mercury Steam working something for Switch?
It's hard to say. I don't know. I mean, my bet would be I bet if they had anything, it would be a Metroid Samus Returns port to Switch. Just make that HD and really giving them that game a new lease on life. Just for the simple fact that it came out on 3DS in a year where 3DS was kind of winding down and didn't really sell a lot of copies. It sold, I think it only sold 1.2 million copies, which, don't get me wrong, that's a lot of copies for a Metroid game, but when you have 73 million 3DSs out there, it's not really a great attach rate. So,
well, a lot of people wanted the Europe collection.
Yeah.
Here in America.
Yeah, that's true. But also when you have Mario games like the Mario and Luigi remakes selling sub 400,000 copies in their lifespan.
Yeah.
Those are games I really wish would come to Switch as well. But I would think Mercury Steam would be working on an HD version of that. There's also a rumor that there's a Super Metroid HD remake coming, like a really like in a Samus Returns vein. Maybe they would be working on that, but I don't know. I think Mercury Steam does some interesting work. It's not always great, but by all accounts, Samus Returns was a great version of that game. So, and under Nintendo's watchful eye, I think they could do something really interesting with a 2D Metroid again. So
Yes.
We'll see. Another rumored game, which I think is a shoo-in, maybe not for 2020. I would actually put maybe for 2020 just because they did it with Galaxy, would be a Mario Odyssey 2 or a new 3D Mario game. I know you prefer the 3D Mario games over the 2D ones, but
I prefer any Mario game. I just think that I just wonder which one do we get this year? Do we get Odyssey 2? Do we get a paper or do we get a 2D?
Well,
I just don't know.
Let me tell you. There's a rumor that Intelligent Systems' second team is working on a Paper Mario game.
Okay.
I mean, I know they just put out Fire Emblem and they're working on Fire Emblem DLC, but Intelligent Systems has two teams in their internal studio, and the last games that they made were Fire Emblem. Well, besides Fire Emblem Three Houses. Fire Emblem Three Houses,
Yeah.
obviously, the game they just put out. But Fire Emblem Shadows of Valencia, or Echoes of Valencia, which is the last 3DS Fire Emblem game.
Yes.
And Paper Mario Color Splash were the last two games that they made. I did not know they made Color Splash.
Me neither.
I did not know they were making Paper Mario games. Apparently, they have made all 4 Paper Mario games. 5 Paper Mario games. So,
Ooh, interesting.
I did not know that. I had zero idea that Intelligent Systems was involved in them whatsoever.
You just kind of thought that they only did Fire Emblem.
I was
That
like,
was it.
well, I know they made Advance Wars, and I know they did Fire Emblem, and I know they did Codename Steam.
Yes, they were their strategy kind of company.
So,
Ooh.
I mean, that's really interesting. If they could apply some of Fire Emblem Three Houses to Paper Mario, I would be really interested in playing another Paper Mario game.
Yes.
I want a Paper Mario RPG, especially if you're not going to bring Mario and Luigi to Switch. Like, giving Paper Mario, giving it like a 1,000-Year Door type treatment, or like that original game. Like, if you're going to give me something like that, I will take that all day. But if you're going to do some like Super Paper Mario, I wasn't that into.
It was a cool game.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. Like, it had some cool concepts, but like, I don't know. I would have rather seen them do another a proper Paper Mario. So, oh wow, I just looked up what all they've done in the last few years. They made all the Pushmo games. They did WarioWare Gold. They did wow, they've done a lot in the last few years.
Oh, you know what? We've got the Mission Brain Age coming sometime this year.
Yeah, I know. I didn't put that on here because it hasn't been confirmed for US release.
It just came out of in Europe today.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I would not mind that. Brain Age is a cool thing. Yeah, dude, they've done a lot. I didn't realize they were this involved in games. Sorry, I got distracted by Intelligent Systems. I really like that company. I think they do good work.
Yes.
Even Codename Steam. I will stand by that game as a solid 6.5.
feel like they'll probably do another one. Just
Another game rumored to be coming this year, Super Mario Party 2, a sequel to 2018's return of the board game, the Mario board game, which was interesting, felt a little underdeveloped and not underdeveloped. It felt unfinished. It felt like there was supposed to be a bunch of like DLC boards and updated boards, and
Yeah.
we never got it. There's only 5 boards, I think, in the whole game. So hopefully they've been working on some. I like that. What Super Mario Party should have been Nintendo's game as a service, where like, oh, here's a holiday themed board, here's like a Christmas board, right, or a Hanukkah board, or a Halloween board for October, or you know what I mean, like that's the game that, oh, we're gonna release just one version of this game and we're gonna just sell DLC for it, like Smash. That's what Super Mario Party should have been.
yes.
It's not. So that game is rumored to be coming from who did they say was working on this? I think HAL Labs is working on this, along with who's developing? Ed, tell me how excited you are for Super Mario Party 2 while I look this up.
I think it would be really cool. I kind of feel like as good as Super Mario Party was, I think
IndieCube.
I think they ended up moving the team away to do something else, and I think Nintendo was just like, "You guys put out a product that's good. We got to move you guys on because we need help being worked on something else," and they probably just like canceled the DLC plans for it.
Yeah, I wonder if they canceled their DLC plans in favor of a second game.
Probably.
Sorry, I misspoke. It was developed by IndieCube, which is a Nintendo internal studio that helps with asset creation on Mario games and develops Mario Party. So
that's probably what they did. They probably had to move the team to something else.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So also, Camelot is rumored to be making another Mario sports related title. Hopefully it's Mario Golf. I hope it's Mario Golf.
People are hoping for a Golden Sun game.
I know, but not from Camelot. Intelligent Systems should be working on a Golden Sun game.
Or
Monolith should be working on a Golden Sun game.
Oh no!
Why not? You don't want the Xenoblade team to make a Golden Sun RPG?
No.
You're crazy.
Golden Sun has. There's something about Golden Sun in the way that game is designed, and Monolith Soft, as great as they are, I don't want them to touch it. I want them to do something else.
I want them to make Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Or Xenoblade Chronicles X2.
Yes, or make them do.
No,
or make a
I
new
want a Xenoblade
RPG
game from them. I want Xenoblade from them.
You can do a new RPG.
Also rumored for this year is an unannounced Ubisoft collaboration, which I'm gonna dollars to donuts say that it's Mario and Rabbids 2.
That's a given.
I mean,
they'd be crazy not to do it.
Yeah, I mean, what else would they do, right? Like, I don't think it's gonna be. Look, Starlink was an interesting idea that didn't really pan out for them. I don't really know what else they would be doing other than that, because that game was so good and so successful. I can't see them really doing anything else.
Yeah.
So, also, the last few rumored things here: Nintendo Game Boy, Nintendo Switch Online added to the online service with Super Nintendo and NES. I think that's a shoo-in. Nintendo 64 games. There's been positive and negative rumors surrounding that, and then an untitled Pokemon project for Switch this year.
Excuse me. Wow. Some people rumoring that Splatoon 3 may be announced.
No, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's
a lot of people are speculating, I should say,
I
because
saw
of
that, but they also said that they are not making Splatoon 3. So I know what. Let's see. It's that you're reading that Nintendo Life article, aren't you?
I just seen it today, but I think it was a holiday picture or something.
Yeah.
I think someone put up, and they were just like, "Where's this one person?" And so that hit led to Splatoon 3. Some people were thinking of.
Yeah. It's there's it says have a great 2020, and then in the water it says SOS, which is something I guess from the salmon run mode or something. Save our salmons can just be about seeing in the water. This is, if you want to read the article on Nintendo Life, we'll probably cover it next week a little bit. But there seems to be, at least they're teasing some. I'm assuming it's going to be Splatoon 2 DLC for Salmon Run mode.
Yes,
is what I'm guessing. I don't think it's going to be a full-on Splatoon 3 yet. Although I wouldn't discount it, I would say.
I wouldn't say we'll get it 2020, but their Dragon Quest 12 has been in production. So it's a possibility that may come to Switch 21, 22. We don't know.
I would say 2022, just because like we just got Dragon Quest 11, and this game's been in development for a while, or for like a year. I would say probably 2022, but you know, we'll see. We will see. Those are the rumored games for Switch right now. There's a few rumored ports that maybe we could just hit on a little bit. Super Mario 3D World Deluxe for Switch, which I wouldn't mind playing through that game again. The Wonderful 101 has been teased forever, so I wouldn't mind playing that game again either. Vanquish is rumored to be coming to Switch.
Some was like rumored that it was gonna be Vanquish too.
Well, I know they're re-releasing Bayonetta and Vanquish as a double pack for Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Yeah, and
that's where that Vanquish rumor for Switch came in. Digital only version of Vanquish, which is fine. I think Vanquish is an interesting idea. It's basically Japanese Gears of War, where you slide around on super, like a super suit, and you heal by smoking cigarettes. And it's an interesting game. It's cool. I highly recommend it. If you haven't played Vanquish, definitely one of those games you should check out if you're a shooter fan. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. I don't really think we need it, but it would be cool to see that game in HD because it's a fun Donkey Kong game. And then of course the two missing HD Zelda games, which would be Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD from the Wii U.
Everybody's hoping this Wind Waker HD to come.
Dude, I just want both of them. I don't care. I don't care what you do. Just give it to me.
I think we'll probably get Mario Kart 9. We might get an Excitebike crossover with Mario Kart. Who knows?
I still think that the next Mario Kart's going to be a Nintendo kart. I think they're going to incorporate, because we've already seen it in Mario Kart 8. I think they're going to have characters from, I think there's going to be Metroid characters. I think there's going to be more F-Zero characters, because clearly they don't want to make an F-Zero. But, we're going to see Metroid, Star Fox. I think we're going to see, the next Mario Kart's basically going to be the Smash Brothers of Mario Kart, where you're just going to see all these characters come in and race karts. It's still going to be called Mario Kart, but I think it's going to be called like Mario Kart World or Mario Kart Nintendo Land or something. You know what I mean? Dude, when the next Mario Kart comes out, you're gonna lose me for about 3 or 4 weeks. I love Mario Kart 8.
It really is good. It really is good.
I love Mario Kart 8. I wish there was more DLC for it. But all right, Ed, we're gonna run through these major third-party games real quick. We are running longer than I expected. Not that I'm complaining, but we're just gonna run through these, and this isn't everything that's been confirmed. This is just the major stuff that I thought was worth talking about, and we'll go from there. So
yes,
Oddworld: Stranger's Wrath HD, I think is worth talking about because it is a really fun first-person shooter with interesting ammo mechanics and an interesting third-person mode, and one of the more interesting stories in games, I think. It's just a fun kind of Western bounty hunting game in the Oddworld universe, and definitely think it's worth getting. So I still have my original Xbox copy. It's awesome. Anything you want to talk about on Oddworld, Ed?
Oh, nope. Just wait for it to come up so I can play it.
I already pre-ordered that too, by the way. Darksiders Genesis, the top-down kind of twin-stick-ish shooter in the Darksiders series. It's a prequel to the first game, and you can switch between Strife and War on the fly or play with a friend. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's a must-buy.
I am one of the... Darksiders is one of those series that you just root for, you know?
Yes.
Like, I realize that none of the games are, like, 10 out of 10s, right? But, like, it's just one of those series you want to root for and see do well because there's so much heart and passion behind, like, the characters, and the story is just dumb comic book fun, and you can just tell, like, they have a passion for these characters, even though they're like, even though it's dumb, you know.
They're engaging. Like they make you want to play more and more, so you're having fun with them.
Yeah, and like the thing that's really interesting is each game is a different genre.
Yes,
like the first game is a Zelda game, right? With classic God of War combat, I would call it.
Yes.
The second game is a kind of a 3D Diablo-esque game where you're like collecting loot and going through these dungeons, right? Like that's what I would kind of classify it as, you know? And then the Darksiders 3 definitely takes a lot of inspiration from games like Bloodborne and Dark Souls, and kind of applies it to that art style and stuff, which I really like the third game, especially after they patch it. I've recently been playing it for my backlog challenge. And then this one is a top-down twin-stick shooter. Like, you know, it's
right.
just like the only game that's missing is that 4-player co-op game where it's basically going to become Destiny at some point, and everybody's just
pretty
gonna play.
much.
You're going to have a quote-unquote fire team of 4 people, and each person's going to be a horseman of the apocalypse, and you're going to start taking on the 7 rings of hell, and it's going to be a Destiny-style raid to take out these bosses of these 7 rings. I mean, that's the game I would make if I was making a 4th Darksiders game. I don't know. They did. Somebody in an interview did say that when they make Darksiders 4, it's going to be a shooter with Strife. So
let's see how that plays out.
I mean,
over the shoulder or like
I don't know if it's going to be well, honestly, I think look at Remnant from the Ashes, right, which is the game from that team.
Yes.
I bet it plays like that.
If it does, yes, the combat the shooting in there is really, really good.
Yeah,
I think if they lose the soul thing, like the Dark Soul kind of genre, that, it's just making a straight action RPG kind of with guns. Yeah, mm-hmm. I'm down for it.
Like I think it'll be a little bit faster than Remnant, because Remnant is kind of like methodical and kind of you want to plan out your attacks and stuff, right?
Yes.
But I think I think that engine, I feel like Remnant is a proof of concept for what they want to do with the next Darksiders game.
Yes.
Like I really do. And if you add some faster movements, I feel like this is going to sound weird. I think that whatever the Strife focused game is going to be the Bloodborne of Remnant's Dark Souls, if that makes sense. Or like
Yeah.
Remnant is more methodical and slow paced and really kind of tactical, whereas Bloodborne and this Strife game will reward you for being aggressive.
Yeah, but
in a
just
sense.
don't have no stamina bar to it. That's
Yeah. No, I know. That's just, I hope that made sense to people. I was just kind of talking as I was thinking, but man, we talked a lot more about Darksiders on this show than I thought we were going to. The next game, Doom Eternal, is scheduled for Q2 on Switch. I know it's coming out in March for the other two consoles, but it is scheduled for Q2 on Switch. And
I'm debated to push the Xbox One version a little bit later to until Switch come out.
man, look, I think Bethesda needs a win right now.
Yeah.
With this, I think Doom Eternal is going to be that win for them. Doom on the Switch ran well. I thought it was a good port of that game. I know a lot of people who love Doom will not be playing it on the Switch, but it's probably where I'm going to be playing it because that's where I played the first one, and I thought it played great. And Wolfenstein 2 played great there. Youngblood, not so much, but I think Doom Eternal will. I think Doom Eternal will be a technical marvel on Switch.
Yes.
I'll put it that way. Look, after seeing The Witcher 3 run on Switch, which there's a demo at Best Buy of The Witcher on Switch. Watching that game run on Switch, there's no reason why any game is not on Switch now. Like moving on. Trials of Mana is coming to Switch, which is a action RPG. Ed, I know you're more into the Mana series than I am.
Yes. That'd be a game I will be buying. So
that will be a game I will be buying. Riveting review
Yes.
by Edward Varno.
yes.
I think it looks cool. I just watched a trailer for it the other day. I think as an action RPG fan, I think it looks fun. I will be checking it out for sure. Minecraft Dungeons. I don't really have anything to say about it except for it's Minecraft Diablo pretty much. Any thoughts on that, Ed?
I'll probably
check it out
wait
on
for
Game
s-
Pass. Like a lot of these
Yeah.
games, like I don't know. I feel bad for saying this, but a lot of these games are going to be like when it comes to Game Pass, I'll play it there. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel bad for saying that, but
depending on what the price is, I will pick it up. It
I think it's
really
gonna be
depends on the
40.
price.
I think it's 40. It's not full price. I know that.
I think it's one of the games that I definitely would have to double dip, where I had to buy for one and I had to buy for a Switch because I want to play it on one because I want to support Microsoft and their titles, and I want to do it on Switch because it may be another game that when I'm on the road and I'm on the go, and I feel like playing something like that, I could pop it in to play it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that one goes.
Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, another Lego game. Whatever. I don't have anything to say about it. Gods and Monsters, the Ubisoft game.
I need to see more at this point.
I
So-
would love to see more of this game because when I saw that trailer, it got me really excited as an Assassin's Creed Odyssey fan and a Breath of the Wild fan. This looks like somebody just put that in a blender and was like, "Here you go."
Here you go.
This is a game for you. And I said, yes, please. So,
And that depends if Ubisoft release any games this year.
yeah. Well, they will. I mean, let's see. What's next for them?
They got they supposed to have the Pirate Ship game.
Right, Skull and Bones. I forgot that was happening.
Yeah, Skull and Bones.
Rainbow
Gods
Six.
and Monsters. The Rainbow Six new game. Quarantine.
Watch Dogs Legion.
Watch Dogs Legion. Did that mobile game come out with like all the Ubisoft Tom Clancy games coming together? Did that ever come out?
I have no idea. I don't pay attention to mobile.
I don't know if that TV show was out or anything that they showed. But like for 2020,
there's a new Division expansion coming.
but that really don't count, you know. As for games,
No,
well, for new stuff,
I know,
coming
but
out,
it's still,
yeah,
it's still a big thing, and
New content,
a Breakpoint expansion supposedly coming this year. Like, well, supposedly they're rebuilding that game, the Breakpoint. Supposedly they're taking all the loot stuff out of it.
we shall see.
Weird, but you know, whatever. So Ubisoft has a huge slate of games that. Oh, Assassin's Creed, the Norse one, the Viking one, supposedly coming out this year.
The one that was rumored.
Yeah.
That one probably got pushed.
Let me tell you, that's the first game I'm buying for Xbox Series X. I'm getting that new TV. First game I'm getting is Assassin's Creed. I'm telling you, dude. Like, I mean, look, I have Game Pass, so I'll already have Hellblade and Halo and Forza theoretically. Like, first game I'm really buying is Assassin's Creed. I love those new Assassin's Creed games. I love them. Oh, so good. All right, moving on. Empire of Sin, Romero Games, kind of mobster XCOM style game taking place in Chicago. Don't really have a lot to say about that. It's basically just mobster XCOM, which I think a game just came out that was like that called what was it called? I forget what it's called, but it literally just came out last summer. Something Doctrine.
I don't know.
Remember. I don't remember. I'm sorry. It's Rune Factory 4 and Rune Factory 5 are both coming to Switch this year.
Yes.
Which is kind of like a Harvest Moon-esque game.
Yes.
Are you excited for those?
Yes, I am.
Seems like a weird time to bring those out when Animal Crossing is coming out.
Rune Factory is kind of low key, but they really are good. It's really kind of some kind of addictive kind of gameplay to it. So, yeah.
Persona 5 Scramble. Not really interested in that, honestly.
Yeah, I can wait for a sale for that one.
One I know Ed's really excited for is Streets of Rage 4.
Of course, yes.
Tell me about Streets of Rage 4, Ed.
It is a beat 'em up game. It says that Axel Blaze and the one character from Streets of Rage 1. It looked like they got the regular team back with some new characters. 2D beat 'em up. Different, like, very clean artwork. The people who made the music for Streets of Rage 2 is coming back to do this one. They got some really well-known people working on this game. How the soundtrack is going to sound is my only concern about it. Of course, there's going to be different gameplay stuff, but my concern right now is the soundtrack. So hopefully the soundtrack is a banger.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. I will trust your opinion on Streets of Rage 4. No, if it's a good side-scrolling beat 'em up, I'll probably play it because I haven't played a good beat 'em up since Turtles in Time. Heyo.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. River City Girls is actually pretty good.
I still need to buy that.
All right, next game on this list is Digimon Survive. Still a thing, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's happening. And then the Mega Man Zero and ZX collection is also coming to Switch this year. So that's those are the major third-party games confirmed for Switch. I know there's probably
What about Shantae? That coming up this year?
maybe, I don't know. Release dates. 2020 release dates. Let's see if Game Informer's release schedule has any more interesting ones that we can talk about before we wrap up. Oh, I forgot to mention Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered is coming this year.
Oh yeah.
I think it just got delayed actually, which kind of sucks for some people, but it'll be all right. You guys will get over it. Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics, which is something I'm interested in. Kind of I would say a Mario plus Rabbids-esque tactics game set in the Dark Crystal universe. I really like the Dark Crystal. I know it's kind of niche at this point, but I still need to watch.
Did that ever come out?
No, it's coming out on February 4th. That's what I'm talking about. These are all games that are coming out this year.
Okay.
2 Point Hospital is coming out, which is a kind of a sim game where you manage a hospital with some kind of hilarious aspects to it. Let's see here. Looking at games on this list. Looking at games on this list.
And everybody, we do have the indie world and some of the indie games that came out from past years that haven't came out yet. So
yeah, Axiom Verge 2 is coming to Switch this year, which I'm really excited for. Axiom Verge 2, by the way. Looks awesome. I think having that bright light blue art style really distinguishes itself from the reds and purples and blacks of the first one.
Yes.
Like I really think that does a lot for that, to say, hey, look, we're just we're really trying here. It's I can't wait for that game. Gods and Monsters I talked about already. Hollow Knight Silksong is coming out to Switch this year. Hollow Knight, a lot of people liked. This game seems to be doing some interesting things in terms of movement and really kind of switching up the level design. So that's coming. Let's see. Anything else interesting? Sorry, I know this is great radio.
I wonder if the creators of Hyper Light Drifter, I think they working on another game.
Their new game is coming at some point. But
they haven't announced it.
They did announce it, but let me look for that. The Panzer Dragoon remake is coming out.
Yes.
Are you familiar with Panzer Dragoon at all?
Yes, I am. So Panzer Dragoon was shoot 'em up game, kind of almost in the style of Star Fox for the Sega Saturn. They ended up losing the code for it, but was able to get some of it and make it for PC. And then you have a Panzer Dragoon Order that came on the regular Xbox. And so this one that's coming to Switch and other platforms, this is a remake of the first game. So they redesigned the whole first game, added some stuff. So it's kind of like you fly from point A to point B where you get to the boss. It's very linear. And you're on the dragon shooter stuff, and you got to dodge and get points and beat the enemy, beat the boss, and it's pretty much that. So, it's a well-beloved game for a lot of people. A lot of people love the soundtrack and the flying and everything. It looked very rough when it first came out because it was on Sega Saturn. This one, I think some people got to play it a little bit and they found out that it was a little bit rough. Like some people weren't happy with it, so I think it got delayed because it was supposed to be out last month.
Yeah.
But it got delayed for them to work more onto it. I think that feedback that they got from letting people test it out made them delay it further down the line so they could tweak and fix stuff.
Yeah. Heart Machine's next game is called Solar Ash Kingdom, by the way. It's kind of a 3D8-esque take on the Hyperlight Drifter formula.
Okay.
It doesn't have a 2020 release, but it does have a trailer, and it looks awesome.
Okay. I didn't know if they had announced their next game or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They had just came to my mind.
Yeah, no, I forgot that I forgot all about it until you said something. So I'm glad you did, because that game looks like a strong contender for something that deserves some attention. And maybe they're just waiting until, I think maybe they're waiting until they have more to show to kind of really let us dive deep into it.
Uh-huh.
Let's see here, Skatebird. I think that's really it in terms of,
NBA 2K21.
I mean, that's not announced yet, but sure. But that's all we're gonna cover on this episode. Like I said, we're gonna talk about a lot of things after that first direct. I'm assuming within the next month or so, we will have a direct to talk about.
Yes.
I think Nintendo has a pretty strong 2020 already in terms of, mixing up their first party and third party. It's a strong first half of the year. It's not their strongest first half, but, of course, this all goes without saying that the direct, I'm sure, will have a bunch of stuff coming. So, I'm sure we'll have some sort of sports game. I'm sure we'll have some. I don't even know what to tell you to expect at this point, because every time a direct pops up, there's something mind-boggling. Like when they announced Dark Souls was coming, when they announced Doom and Wolfenstein were coming.
Yeah.
When they announced Bayonetta, like there's always something. There's always something
Unexpected.
Yeah. So, what do you think of 2020, Ed, so far?
I think we've got a really strong 5 months. From this month all the way up to May. I think we got a really strong 5 months for Nintendo Switch. I think there's going to be a lot of planned announcements. I think a lot of people have made their decisions on games for what they're going to get. And I think we're still going to get a lot of indies. I think everybody's just going to be watching Nintendo closely on what are you guys going to do to combat all the other systems, or, to help you push more Switch systems. So it's going to be really good. I really love this list. It's about $600 plus some dollars that I'll be spending on getting games and stuff. Just like the 5 games alone, it's almost around $300 from Nintendo. So, like, that's kind of good. So we shall see what the rest of the what they're going to have to offer. And we didn't really add the cardboard one, but that's where Nintendo say anything about that. So yeah, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, another thing I wouldn't be surprised that was announced this year is a new
Labo.
Not only new Labo stuff, but new Ring Fit stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's gonna do it for this episode of Nintendo Power Block. I'm glad you guys all stuck around for this long, kind of overview of 2020. Remember, you can find Nintendo Power Block every Saturday on your podcast service of choice and on BossRushGames.com. Rate us and review us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever podcast service you listen to us on. It really helps with discoverability. It really helps us grow. And we are looking to do that. So if you want to email the show for Question Block, we have a bunch of questions backed up for the last couple weeks because we took off for the holiday. But if you want to email us, you can email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com or look for our social media threads on Boss Rush Games. You can follow us on Twitter at boss_rush_games. You can follow us on Instagram at Boss Rush Games and on Facebook at Boss Rush Games. Like our Facebook page, join our community, join our Discord, join our Xbox community, join our Destiny clan, something that I want to start plugging on all the shows, even though Destiny's not on Nintendo. You can join our clan. Ed, I sent you an invite. Thank you for not accepting the invite.
When?
A while ago.
For Destiny?
Yeah.
On Xbox One? I thought I accepted.
You had to do it through the app or through the website.
Send it to me again so I can accept it. I thought I did.
All right. All you have to do, there's a link on our on bossrushgames.com/subscribe. You can join our Destiny clan there, or if you go to bungie.net and go to the clan page, just search for Boss Rush Games. You can join our clan that way as well. Join our Discord, all that crap. There's all kinds of things that there's just so much to do. There's so much to do, Ed. I'm very excited. In the next couple weeks, we will be debuting our new podcasts, 1v1, which will go up on the Boss Rush podcast feed, our interview series that will go up every other week for content creators out there. If you're interested in being on that show, just send me a DM or email us at bossrushgamespro@gmail.com. We would love to have you on and just interview you about your stuff and what you like about games and stuff. So that's debuting. And then within the next month or so as well, Standard Definition is coming finally.
Yes.
So you can check that out soon. I think that's it. Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatBurgerCode. You can check Optional Opinion on SoundCloud and other podcasts. And the backlog, the Boss Rush Games Backlog Challenge has started. The rules and stuff will be up. I know I put some on Facebook on our community page, but there's going to be an official post on bossrushgames.com that you guys can read because I've added some stuff in case people want to if they had questions and stuff. So I made some things a little more clarified there.
Do we have a prize announced for the end of the year for this? Or do we want to discuss that at a later date?
That we'll discuss at the later date because I was supposed to, for this year, for you guys, for you and Jesse, you were supposed to play a game of my choice.
Yeah, well, I lost that challenge real fast. Look, you guys should just be happy I bought Resident Evil 2. So.
Oh yes. Jesse lost too. So
I'm telling you, Ed. Though I'm gonna win this year. I'm gonna win the Boss Rush Challenge this year.
Okay, so. we shall see. So I will have everything up so you guys can read it at bossrushgames.com. And I'm gonna repost that. Repost those rules on our community page because there's some more, like I said, more stuff I added to clarify things. So hopefully you guys who are watching this join in with us.
Nice. Wait, you said where we can find you, right? At That Retro Code, right?
At That Retro Code, yes.
Yeah, we did that. Okay. You can find me at CorianHD713 on Twitter and Xbox. I changed my name to that, so it's easier for people to find me. If you want to play with me, you can follow me on Instagram and Mixer at CorianHD. Starting either next week or the week after, we will be doing our live shows on Mixer and Twitch and our YouTube page. So you can finally see us live there. Hopefully I can get everything situated and ready to go. So you can find us at twitch.tv/BossRushGamesLive and mixer.com/BossRushGamesLive. You can watch our live shows there. I'm aiming for next week. It might be in 2 weeks, but very exciting stuff there as well. So sorry that these outros are so long. There's a lot to cover, and getting back into the swing of things, just exciting. 2020 is going to be very exciting for sure. Ed, anything else? Did we get everything?
We got everything. I can't wait to see the next direct. Can't wait for E3. It's a big year for 2020 for Boss Rush Games. It's a lot coming. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you continue to support us.
Yeah. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember that Foster's Games, you should play games and be better. We will see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Woohoo!